It's nice to speak with you today, Boris, and I'm looking forward today to hearing your views on the topic of towards operational excellence with RFID.
Hi, Dustin. I'll be glad to answer questions and make comments. And naturally, I was educated and I would say born as a RF engineer. And I have 20 years of European experience developing RF devices. And last 20 years, I was working practically for Zebra Technologies, developing RFID printer encoders. I have education from Moscow State University, PhD, and graduated with master's degree and bachelor's degree from Moscow Aviation Academy.
Thank you. My first question is, can you first define what is RFID and how can it be used for better operational excellence?
RFID stands for radio frequency identification. And the latest applications have been developed based on ability of this system, practically a transponder, also named as called as tag, to be identified with unique code. And practically most applications lately was spinning around making labels with this embedded transponders. And using this capability of the transponder to be identified, most of them used for tracking it for kind of mostly inventory. It allows you automatically run this inventory, just moving antenna around items with this called smart labels, and it doesn't contactless identify them. Because of nature of radio frequency waves, you don't need to aim exactly like it used to be with barcode, the beam at the object, and still be able to identify objects surrounded inspector. But it's not, it's a sort of the tip of the iceberg, because transponders themselves, which define radio frequency identification technology, is capable of much more and have a different features, allows to use them not just for identification, but in a variety of industries. And first of all, industries and applications. First of all, regarding operational excellence, for operational excellence, has been developed accounting system, which actually calculates different key ratios, allows to estimate how healthy is the production or manufacturing or any operation is. But the biggest obstacle for this, for using this accounting measures, is they're coming too late. Practically at the end of a month, you will see how successful the operation was or not successful, what has been done right, what's wrong. And RFID, its capability allows you to get a kind of instant information, and also combined with different other components such as microprocessor, batteries, Wi-Fi, and other devices, Bluetooth. It allows you, Bluetooth, I'm sorry, it allows you to get this information by demand, and organizing a database kind of decentralized. It's completely not necessary to send this information permanently to information technology department and overloading with data. It can be retrieved by demand, by sending signal and verifying what transponder has collected. So it opens a lot of different applications, including, for example, moving of equipment, moving personnel, and also what is important thing, you can get kind of a trend lines from these devices, estimating if some parameters growing or trailing down or changes somehow. And practically, as of today, it is possible to organize some kind of fixed asset management. It's also mixed up with tracking and tracing, but it's completely wrong, because fixed asset management includes not just knowledge of location and moving of equipment, but rather how reliable this equipment is and how well it works over time. So using this kind of RFID technologies, you can combine them with different sensors, and thus receiving information permanently about the current temperature or vibration or humidity and a lot of other parameters. So this technology will allow you to kind of finally improve mean time between failures, and thus make your equipment available and working with the minimum expenses for maintenance and repair. RFID technology, or radio frequency identification, has been allocated a few frequency bands: low frequency, high frequency, and ultra high frequency. The ultra high frequency is used for more or less long applications, while magnetically coupled devices which work at high frequency has much higher noise immunity, but as a matter of fact, it has a shorter range, but has this disadvantage of being resilient to different interferences. At low frequency band, transponders are made kind of hermetized in small container, either plastic or glass, and it's very well withstands against different environment, climate changes or temperature change, environment changes in regards of temperature, humidity, other things. Most applications of this low frequency RFID found in the laundry applications, where clothes sort out by using automated equipment, because what the biggest advantage of RFID is digitalization, and RFID devices will be vital for the incoming Internet of Things, because it'll become kind of like a glass and eyes and ears of this technology, and allowing to exchange information widely and very fast.
And can you share any success stories about implementation?
Can name you few positive and few negative, if you'd like. The practical applications huge, and mostly in retail sector now and in healthcare. But RFID also used for kind of a compliance. For example, I am aware of cases where police supposed to monitor some areas have to come to the post which has a reader and let them read their transponders, just verify that they were patrolling a particular area. And other applications for compliance, I mean, that's a kind of hand wash for employees in food stores, food production. In retail, there are a couple of applications. For the kind of most impressive is that inventory accuracy at retail store. If not mistaken, it's Newman Marcus or other chain. They were able to increase accuracy of inventory from regular 75% up to 98%, saving a lot of time because not only accuracy has been increased dramatically, but also time spent for inventory was cut maybe 20 times. Other applications in healthcare, for example, in hospitals, when patients supplied with a wristband with embedded transponder, which is keeping all places patient visited, or if he or she goes to different doctors, that every kind of meeting encountered with doctor is recorded to the wristband transponder. In this way, a lot of adverse events prevented, and for example, for operation, they always know which hand or which leg to operate because this terrible things happens when doctors were missing the right thing. In operations, the biggest problem among surgeons is leaving some kind of materials inside of abdomen of patients. And now when transponders has been, the procedure itself takes really attentive counting how many was used and how many were retrieved. So with embedded transponders and this kind of punches, I think they call, that's become automatic, and there is no terrible cases when something was left inside of a patient's. This kind of applications very successful and hard to estimate a financial gain for this because health you cannot measure. So other applications encountered in different areas in production, for example, especially when assembly line is used, and this assembly line shares a different product assemblage. A lot of mistakes happens, errors happens when different components, especially when they look alike, was used wrongly. And with implementation of RFID, this kind of adverse event was practically eliminated, automatically verifying what came to the next station for assembly, that is correct part, correct device, and so a lot of things prevented. RFID technology also covers partly real-time location systems. They could not be necessarily based on RF, but some of them are based on radio frequency identification. This system allows you to practically locate the object remotely by watching a screen with kind of a map, and the marker shows where the equipment or component or barrel located, showing exactly on the map where it's located. It's also widely used for parking lot. sometimes in their house. What I would like to mention that it's kind of problematic things because historically RFID and RTLS has started implementing by the same companies which used to deal with barcode. And this kind of mentality still remains, and it caused a lot of trouble because, for example, RTLS working well on open space because some of the methods for RTLS has been borrowed from navigation of radio systems used for aircraft. But people somehow forgot that this technology developed for aircraft working very well on open space, open air. But when you deal with warehouse environments, there are a lot of reflections which kind of lowering accuracy dramatically of location. Other things also relates to not deep understanding of RFID engineering, which deals with signals, level of signals, reflections, penetrations, and other things. And what I observed, the education is kind of not really spreading intensively, and that might cause very long pilot trial and finally base the system on error and trial. If awareness of this technology would be higher, then it could help to proliferate this technology widely. And it seems to me that like I mentioned before, using RFID only like identification, it's a kind of fraction of all capabilities. And it's not really widely known. And as currently today, the majority applications based on only, or solutions based on only identification code. But hopefully, as this process develops and companies, mostly system integrators and system designers will realize capabilities that will accelerate the progression of RFID technology applications and create a lot of different solutions.
And thank you for sharing today.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Thank you for sharing today.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Is it good enough? Or?
Can you discuss what this technology is comprised of?
Definitely. The major four components of this RFID application technology includes antennas, includes transceivers, transmitter and receiver, called reader, unfortunately, and also includes a printer encoder for initial encoding of transponders. And the main or key element is a transponder, which calls for transmit and response. And this kind of type, there are a lot of different transponders types available today. And transponder itself, depending on frequency it works at, depending on signals, technologies, and standards, define the whole capabilities of RFID. I think that's it. It's probably enough.